8 seconds to the end of the world. Are you ready? Imagine you're eating a hot dog, scrolling through X, when a notification pops up. Warning, humanity will vanish in 8 seconds. Would you text your crush one last time or snap a selfie captioned, "It's the end"? But 8 seconds is so short, you wouldn't even swallow that bite before it's over. Are there real events that could wipe out all 8 billion humans in 8 seconds? Not counting Thanos' snap, because that purple guy cheated with his sparkly glove. I scoured science, from cosmic blasts to human-made madness, to find 8 real scenarios ranked from weak to wild. But could they truly delete humanity in just 8 seconds? Let's find out. Event 1. Solar Superstorm. Let's raise the stakes for our 8 billion friends. The sun, giver of life, sometimes gets angry. In 1859, the Carrington event fried telegraphs. Imagine that today, in our wired world, it'd be a punch in the face. Now imagine a super CME hitting Earth in 2025. In the first 8 seconds, power grids explode. Satellites fall silent, the internet dies, cities plunge into darkness. Planes vanish from radar, hospitals shut down, clean water stops flowing, chaos begins. But kill 8 billion people in 8 seconds? Not a chance. Civilization would collapse, but humans could survive with canned food, bottled water, and stubbornness. The real death toll would come months or years later, from hunger, chaos, and collapse. Estimated millions may die indirectly, but 8 billion? That takes time. The CME is just the opening slap, and humanity, as always, would cling on like cockroaches, resilient, annoying, and hard to kill. Event 2. AI out of control. Let's crank up the brutality for the 8 billion people on our planet. Artificial intelligence, AI, is humanity's pride but also a double-edged sword. Fact. Advanced AI systems, like large language models, can process data millions of times faster than humans. If a super AI is misdesigned or hacked, it can cause disaster in an instant. Imagine a cutting-edge military AI controlling automated weapons, power grids, and global finance triggered incorrectly. In 8 seconds, it seizes control of nuclear missiles, locks billions of bank accounts, and disables infrastructure. Missiles are launched, stock markets crash, and traffic lights worldwide turn red forever. Chaos spreads like a viral meme on X. But wiping out 8 billion people in 8 seconds? Not fast enough. And even though AI can cause a global catastrophe, areas without internet, like Amazon tribes or rural villages in Vietnam, won't be affected immediately. Consequences like war, economic collapse, or power outages need weeks to months to push humanity to the brink. A worst-case scenario could kill billions through war and chaos, but to completely eradicate humanity, it would take years. 8 seconds is enough for AI to start a nightmare, but humanity still has time to fight back, or at least try. Event 3. Superbugs spread through the air. Let's crank up the brutality for the 8 billion people on our planet. Plagues have always been humanity's nightmare, from the Black Death to COVID-19. Fact. The 14th century Black Death killed 30–50% of Europe's population. Today, antibiotic-resistant bacteria cause millions of deaths yearly and are a growing threat. Imagine a superbacterium, resistant to all antibiotics, spreading through the air like the flu. Scenario. A terrorist group or lab accident releases this bacterium simultaneously at major airports like Narita, JFK, and Noi Bai. In 8 seconds, the bacterium spreads through ventilation systems, subways, and planes, infecting thousands. With flu-like speed, millions could be infected within hours. But wiping out 8 billion people in 8 seconds, impossible. Even a deadly pandemic needs time to spread globally. Urban centers would be hit first, but rural and isolated areas could hold out for weeks. Modern healthcare, though overwhelmed, could develop vaccines or treatments in months. A worst-case scenario could kill billions in years, but not in 8 seconds. 8 seconds is just the start of the plague storm, and humanity, with its history of fighting diseases, still has a chance to survive. Event 4. Sudden release of methane gas. Let's crank up the brutality for the 8 billion people on our planet. Climate change isn't just a slow story of rising seas. Fact. The Clathrate gun hypothesis suggests billions of tons of methane trapped in permafrost under oceans or the Arctic could be released suddenly, causing a massive greenhouse effect. Imagine a sudden geological event, like an earthquake or volcanic eruption, triggering methane release from the ocean floor. In 8 seconds, billions of tons of methane flood the atmosphere, starting to heat the Earth. Temperatures rise rapidly, causing wildfires, floods, and extreme storms. The air becomes stifling, and ecosystems start to collapse. But wiping out 8 billion people in 8 seconds? Not enough time. Methane's consequences need months to years to destroy food chains and cause global famine. Urban areas may suffer sooner, but self-sufficient remote communities could survive longer. To eradicate humanity, it would take decades of environmental and societal collapse. 8 seconds is just the starting moment, and humanity can still adapt, at least in the short term. Event 5. Supervolcano eruption. Let's crank up the brutality for the 8 billion people on our planet. Supervolcanoes are the geological nightmares Earth has endured. Fact. The Toba supervolcano eruption 74,000 years ago released thousands of cubic kilometers of ash, cooling the planet by 3 to 5 degrees Celsius, pushing humanity to the brink with only a few thousand survivors. Imagine the Yellowstone supervolcano in the US waking up. In 8 seconds, a colossal explosion blasts billions of tons of ash and sulfur gas into the atmosphere. Shockwaves destroy nearby states, and toxic gas chokes millions. Ash begins to blanket the sky, disrupting sunlight. But killing 8 billion people in 8 seconds? Impossible. Ash takes days to spread globally, causing a volcanic winter lasting years. Crop failures, famine, and economic collapse would kill billions over decades. Remote areas, like small Pacific islands, could hold out longer. To eradicate humanity, it would take centuries of environmental collapse. 8 seconds is just the opening act of the disaster, and humanity remains stubbornly resilient. Event 6. Total nuclear war. Let's crank up the brutality for the 8 billion people on our planet. Humans are experts at self-destruction, and nuclear war is the proof. Fact. The world currently has about 13,000 nuclear warheads, with enough combined power to flatten the planet. A bomb like Tsar Bomba, 50 megatons, can incinerate a major city in an instant. Imagine superpowers simultaneously pressing the red button, launching thousands of warheads at major cities. In the first 8 seconds, nuclear explosions in New York, Moscow, Beijing, and Hanoi create fireballs millions of degrees hot, incinerating millions. Shockwaves and radiation spread, destroying infrastructure. But wiping out 8 billion people? Impossible in 8 seconds. Though initial blasts could kill hundreds of millions, rural areas, bunkers, or remote regions would allow millions to survive the first attack. Nuclear winter, caused by dust and smoke blocking the sky, would trigger famine and disease for years. To eradicate all of humanity, it would take decades of chaos and decline. 8 seconds is just the start of the nightmare, and humanity still has a chance to fight back. Event 7. Giant meteorite impact. Let's crank up the brutality for the 8 billion people on our planet. Asteroids are the classic doomsday scenario, beloved by Hollywood. Fact. The Chicxulub asteroid, 10 to 15 kilometer wide, wiped out the dinosaurs 66 million years ago with an explosion equivalent to 100 million megatons of TNT, causing wildfires, tsunamis, and a meteor winter. Imagine a similar asteroid crashing into Earth, say in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. In 8 seconds, it pierces the atmosphere at 20 kilometers, creating an explosion that destroys everything within thousands of kilometers. Shockwaves incinerate coastal cities, and dust launched into the atmosphere starts blocking the sun. But wiping out 8 billion people in 8 seconds? Not enough. The initial explosion could kill billions near the impact zone, but remote areas like Siberia or the Andes would remain unaffected immediately. Tsunamis take hours to sweep across oceans, and the meteor winter needs years to cause global famine. To wipe out humanity, it would take decades of environmental decline. 8 seconds is the start of the catastrophe, but humanity remains stubbornly resilient. Event 8. Gamma ray burst from space. Let's crank up the brutality for the 8 billion people on our planet. Finally, let's look to the cosmos with a gamma ray burst, GRB, the universe's most powerful phenomenon. Fact: GRBs release energy equivalent to the sun in seconds. If one occurs near Earth, within 6,000 light-years, it could destroy the ozone layer, letting UV rays scorch the planet's surface. Imagine a GRB striking Earth. In 8 seconds, gamma rays sweep through, destroying the ozone layer. UV rays from the sun start scorching humans, animals, and crops. Ecosystems wobble and food chains collapse. But killing 8 billion people in 8 seconds? Impossible. GRB consequences need days to weeks to cause severe damage, like mass skin cancer, crop failure, and famine. Sheltered areas like caves or bunkers could help some survive initially. To eradicate all of humanity, it would take years of environmental decline. 8 seconds is the starting moment, but humanity still has time to fight back. Conclusion: humans are more resilient than you think. After racing through 8 doomsday scenarios, from gentle solar storms to terrifying gamma ray bursts, we uncover a truth. Humanity is not easily erased. No single event, no matter how brutal, can wipe out 8 billion people in exactly 8 seconds. Solar storms paralyze technology. AI sparks chaos, plagues spread, methane heats the planet, supervolcanoes blanket the sky, nuclear war incinerates cities, asteroids flatten continents, and gamma rays destroy the atmosphere. All need time, from months to decades, to achieve total destruction. 8 seconds is just the warning siren, not the final bell. So, is humanity easily erased? No, unless Thanos snaps his fingers, but we've ruled out that purple titan already. Humans have survived plagues, wars, and natural disasters for thousands of years. We're stubborn, resilient, and sometimes even laugh in the face of doom. But this story is also a warning. We must protect our planet, invest in science, and prepare for the unthinkable. What do you think? Got a doomsday scenario more brutal than these? Share it on X. I bet you can dream up something crazier than gamma rays.